Is this two-tier justice in plain sight?
Mr. Speaker, on Saturday, the Secretary of State promised extra court time for anyone arrested at the United Kingdom march. Yet, we know there are grooming gang survivors who have waited more than 20 years for their cases to come to court. How is it that he is able to find court time to arrest protesters, and yet some victims of vile sexual abuse are waiting decades to hear their cases in court?
I would have thought that the Honourable Lady as a magistrate recognises the right to protest exists in our country and we defend it. But where people spew hate, where they incite violence, where anyone is subject to criminal damage or harm, of course the courts will bear down on them in the strongest possible of ways.
The integrity of the British legal system has always relied on the principle of equality under the law. Yet, looking at the current priorities of David Lammy and the Labour government, many are starting to wonder if that principle is being compromised. Is the system becoming unevenly weighted depending on the nature of the case? There is a growing concern regarding the speed and resources allocated to different types of cases. On one hand, the investigation and prosecution of complex grooming gang cases have often been criticized for being agonizingly slow, with some delays reaching up to 20 years, leaving victims waiting years for closure. On the other hand, the response to recent protests, such as the United Kingdom events, saw the government push for rapid-fire sentencing and 24-hour court sessions. This raises questions about whether the government is applying different standards to those who protest or speak out against its policies, including the very discriminatory practices it accuses others of. When justice moves at different speeds for different situations, it risks creating a perception of a two-tier justice system. Public trust depends on the belief that the law treats every issue with the same level of urgency and rigor, regardless of the political optics surrounding it. This is not just an outside critique. Even within the Labour Party, there is significant pushback. Perhaps the most concerning development is a proposal to restrict the right to jury trial for certain offences. David Lammy has suggested that this could help clear the massive court backlogs, but critics argue this is a fundamental erosion of a cornerstone of British liberty. The right to be judged by a jury of one's peers is not just a procedural delay. It is a safeguard against state overreach and is fundamental to democracy. The foundation of a stable society is a justice system that is transparent, consistent, and protective of civil liberties. By prioritizing speed over the established right to a jury and appearing to treat different incidents with varying levels of severity, the current administration risks undermining the very system they are tasked with protecting. Equality under the law ties all of this together. Justice should be blind, focusing solely on the facts and the law, rather than being influenced by the news cycle. It is vital to maintain a system that provides safety for the vulnerable and fairness for every citizen. Equality under the law demands that the same rules and procedures apply to every person and every case. When that standard slips, the whole system is weakened and called into question. What are your thoughts on the proposal to limit jury trials? Is the justice system heading in the right direction? If you believe equality under the law must remain the unbreakable foundation of British justice, share this video with others who see the importance of this principle, and subscribe for more analysis on the state of leadership in British politics. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.